All right. So, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar. My name is Kenneth Johnson. I'm the Sales Development Rep here at Mission Control. And today's webinar will be led by Ben Savage. He's an account exec here with our team, as well as a Salesforce certified admin. Now, Mission Control is one of the leading project management solutions built natively on the Salesforce platform. And today we're going to be presenting Mission Control Rapid Project Launch. During our presentation, we'll be providing some detailed information as well as covering some key features of Mission Control. Should you have any questions along the way, please type them into the Zoom question box on your Zoom control panel, and we'll try to get to those questions closer towards the end. Now, without further ado, I'll be passing the time over to our presenter. Over to you, Ben.
Thanks, Kenny. Really appreciate that. And thanks, everybody, for attending today's webinar of Rapid Project Launch. We'll be covering a brief overview of Mission Control, and then we'll be diving right into that Rapid Project Launch. So first off, this just gives a little bit of information about Mission Control and who uses it. Next, we'll take a quick look over at our basic key features. Now, all of these key features we'd be happy to discuss further. You're welcome to set up a call after this particular webinar. We'd be glad to speak with you on any of these and how they might fit your needs. And now we're going to go ahead and dive into the actual subject of Rapid Project Launch within Mission Control. So here, when you come into the Mission Control console, again, this is going to give you quick launch access to everything within Mission Control. So we're going to start off, and first we need to go ahead and create the project. So we're just going to come over here, and today's project we're going to build is called Venture Software Website. And we're going to put in a project budget of $6,000. And we're going to add a couple of more milestones down here. So the first milestone we're going to do is design, and we're going to give that one a budget of $3,000. We're going to say next we're going to build, and that will give $2,000. And finally, we're going to deliver this. So that we're going to go in at $1,000. So now we've got our project name, our project budget, our milestones, and we spread that budget over those milestones. Now we need to actually launch the project. And when we come in here, you're going to see our basic project overview. But now we're going to need to actually create some actions to go underneath those milestones. So when we come in here, we'll need to go ahead and let's create a total of 6 actions. So we'll just add rows, and we're going to start off with our design. And what are we going to do? We're going to design a wireframe. And we put in our number of hours. We'll go with 8 hours here. And then we just start putting in our actual start date and information around there. So we go off and we choose which role or team member that we want to deliver that work. Coming over here, you actually have access into the resource assignment wizard. Here, there are several different ways that you can actually sort to help assist on the delivery of that work with the contributor. So that's what we're doing here. You have the ability, I can sort by teams, I can sort by skills if need be, I can sort by skilled proficiency, and then you can go out and look on the scheduler on the number of weeks out. Based on that criteria, it's going to pull in everybody that's available to help deliver that work. In this case, it looks like Kim has some time, so we'll just drag and drop, as well as Rosa. So we'll give an hour off to Kim, an hour and a half off to Rosa. And if you'll notice, it's taking it off of Ember's time in that case. So now we've got those roles assigned. Next, we're going to actually build out a quick checklist. So here we're going to say we need to design an About Us page. And we'll sign that off. Give that to Chris. Next, we're going to go ahead and create another, we'll say a Contact Us page. Again, we're assigning that off. And one more, we're going to go in with a homepage design. And from here, we'll just finally assign that off to Jeremy. So now we're just going to save those, and those will be available once we save this project. Now we just need to go through and do the rest of these. So we're going to design the UI. And we're going to go in at 6 hours for that. Go through and assign when that work needs to be delivered. Again, next we're going to build. And so we're going to build a framework. Four hours. Again, once you're doing this, this will be done on the initial setup, but you'll be able to easily and rapidly launch projects using some features that we'll be covering in just a few minutes. So here we're going to build a content page, also going in at 4 hours. And then finally, we're going to deliver that work. So we need to plan training. And we're going to put that in, since we're planning, as some non-billable hours, signing that off. And then finally, we're going to deliver the training. So we'll put that in at 2 hours. So from here, you're just going to go off and click save. That's actually going to create the rest of the project for you. So now I have my project name, I can see my completed, my overdue actions, and down here I've got all of my milestones. Now when you see the blue plus to the left, you can click in and that's going to drop down the next level within the mission control project that you've set up. So again, your milestones, your action, and your item, those are your checklist items. Just working your way across, you can see your action name, your action owner, your status, my start and end date. In this case, it's just giving me a warning that just lets me know that this particular task, if it's in orange, is going to be upcoming tomorrow or in the next few days. And then hovering over that icon right there, I can see who's delivering that work with contributors. So now we're going to go up and let's actually kind of look at the setup of this project and go through and assign some of this out. So I can say what account is it associated with, my contact, and we can say what opportunity. You can put in a project reference. Here I can enable this to be cloned. You can also set up your own types of categories. We'll build that as client project. Here, as far as the billing types, you have some options. You can use fixed price plus expenses, and then time and materials. So we're going to go with fixed price. And we're going to set that at a standard billing rate of $1,200 a day. That's what we'll be charging out to our clients. And then we'll set our cost rate as standard also. And that's the $800 is what we'll be charging internally to do the work. Here you can account for any overtime. Down here we'll enable for our non-billable work. And then you can change the color of your project on the whiteboard or the scheduler. Coming through here, you can enable for any type of timesheet approval required. You can also allow for any type of expenses. We're going to go ahead and check off to generate the weekly project status report. And then coming down through here, I can go ahead and set up my billing information around my tax rate. Now we've got some different options around your billing cycle. So if you choose to use the billing functionality within Mission Control, you can bill manually. So you would just manually raise an invoice. You could also do it based on a milestone, so automatically bill on the completion of a milestone, as well as we have some periodic timeframes that can automatically send a bill, as well as retainer based. So we'll leave that on manual, and then we're just going to come down through here. Now, all of this information is going to fill through as the project is being worked. And then finally down here, I'm going to just put in some anticipated project expenses. Those will calculate through as we actually log those expenses during the project. So now this project is completely ready to go and you could work this project. So that's going to be the most lengthy part of what we're going to cover today in our rapid project launch, but now we'll really get moving into the rest of it. So around your project, you've got some different email notifications that you can send out. Now these can be sent to action owners or contributors, and anybody that's working on the project can receive these emails. So first is our daily digest. You choose the time each day for this to be sent out. It's automatically going to send. You have your timesheet summary, today's actions, any new actions that you might have to deliver, pending actions with a week's overview, and then any overdue actions as well as approval summaries. So again, it's a really nice way to get started and you're able to see what's going on in your day. Next, we've got a new action notification email. So this is going to be sent out when you're building out the project. If you check off notified next to the action, whether you're the action owner or the contributor, you'll automatically receive this once that new project is created. Next, we have our dependent action notification. So within your project on the Gantt chart, if you create dependencies, when one action is completed, it'll automatically send this email to the next action owner, letting them know that it's their turn to deliver that work. And then our final one is our project status report. So you choose the day and the time each week, and this will automatically be sent out to the key stakeholders that you set up on the project. You're going to have things like your project summary, your milestone information, your actions complete with your start date, your end date, your status, and then your completion here. You can also include any type of risks, issues, or your time logs as well. So that covers off the different types of out-of-the-box email notifications that can be set up. Next, we're going to take a look over into how easy it is to quickly and rapidly launch a project using our clone project feature. So we're going to come into the main console again. I'm going to find, in this case, we'll just clone off that Venture Software website. And we're just going to rename that the Infotech website. So. Now here, if you have any type of updates that you need to make, you can quickly and easily do that right here. But we're just going to go down and assume that all of that information is the same. We'll make sure that we want to go ahead and change the start date. So when we anticipate that, we'll say it's the middle of September. And then here, you're just going to make sure that you're cloning any checklist items as well as contributors. Now, when I change that start date, all my actions below will automatically adjust for me, saving me time, and it'll adjust with your duration. So from this point, I can just go to the very bottom and click Clone Project, and then that's ready to go from this point. Now, let's say that within this Infotech website, I actually had a part of another project that I wanted to go ahead and insert here quickly and easily. You could come over here on the right-hand side where it says Load, come into the Milestone Loader, and then we'll just go off and find the milestone that we want to bring in this case, the client support, and we're going to go and say, when do we want that to actually be inserted, cloning off any checklist items or contributors, and then you can go off and load that milestone, and it's going to put it within the project right here. Now, next we're going to cover off our project request. This will be another way that you can quickly and easily create projects within Mission Control. So here we're coming into our list of projects that are being requested to be worked on. So imagine if you have a senior PM that's looking over all the projects and people are inputting this information here. So what that somebody would do is they could come in and they could say, all right, what's the name of my project? In this case, we're going to go with the custom software website. And we're going to put responsive design build. What's our proposed budget? 50,000. And then we're going to say, what template do you want to go off and clone? So in this case, we'll probably need some, well, we'll need some tweaking, but we'll just copy off this Principal Technology website. Now here, what you're able to do, again, you just choose the start date, and we want to go off and generate that project. Now that's going to be the same as cloning the project. It is cloning the project. So here it's going to go ahead and add it to these project requests, and I'm able to come back through just clicking onto the project requests, and here I can find my information and go ahead and work the project from there. And then the final way that we'll take a look at today, as far as to rapidly launch a project, will be in our opportunities. So this provides a link from service into sales to quickly and easily set up a project that can be launched once the actual opportunity is closed won. So what we're going to do in here is we're going to actually set our close date. Our stage, once it reaches closed won, is going to go off and generate our project. But first we'll need to set up a couple of things. So we've got two methods. You can do opportunity or products. In this case, we're going to use opportunity. If you did choose to use product, it's just going to associate specific products with milestones and build it in a customized way there. Opportunity will go off and clone the entire project template. So again, we'll just pull in this venture software website. I put in my project start date, and then I need to check off that I want to generate the project. So now when we come up here, we're going to change this to closed one. It's going to generate our project right here up on the top right. So now we've got our project ready to go, and that's our final way that we can use Mission Control for a rapid project launch. All right, at this point, I'm going to turn this back over to Kenny, and we're going to jump into some questions. Kenny, back to you.
All right, great job there, Ben. All right, everyone. So if you have any questions, don't forget, please add them into the Zoom control question panel, and we'll try to get to those. And I see that we have some questions here. So first question is, when trying to clone projects in his system, he's only able to see projects flagged as templates. Is there a way to include non-template projects in that list?
Yeah, so you wouldn't necessarily, you could absolutely include a non-templated project. We've got within the project page or where you set up, you're able to actually just check off clone and use the clone button right there.
All right. And then another question is, can you explain what the project request function is?
Sure. So again, the project request part of it is going to be where you're going in to actually request a project to be generated for work. So if you're building out some work that needs to be delivered for your entire team and you want a centralized place before you actually go in and launch the project officially, that project request exists for that, where it would document all of those different project requests coming in, and you can make the decision whether or not you wanted to proceed with that project. So you could also use it, in my mind, to anticipate what's coming through in pipeline as well.
Perfect. And then we have another question that says, are you able to include action notes within the project status report?
You are able to include notes within the individual actions. And let me double check on the actual notes in there. I believe you are, but I need to make sure.
Right. And then another one I'm looking at is, are you able to clone a project and add outside vendors?
Yeah, so you definitely would be able to do that. You would just add those outside vendors as contacts within roles within our system. And then you would just add them as onto the project where you needed them.
Perfect. And so another question is there a way to bypass the project request and create the project directly?
Yeah, again, you could do that directly from the actual project record, just using the clone button, and it'll go off and clone everything for you on that project.
Perfect. And then, can you set up all opportunities once one to auto-create a project? And can these projects based on different templates like EPM and ERP?
Yeah, you would need to set up like just work and actually build out a workflow or process builder to trigger that automatically. And you could certainly base that and associate that like with actual products, and that would associate it with a milestone. So the answer would be yes there.
Perfect, perfect. And then, so another one is, can a project request be created from another record or other opportunity, other than opportunity, I mean?
Yes, you would be able to do that. We've got some functionality within Mission Control where you're able to associate that with different records.
Perfect. And then I'm seeing, can you clone dependencies on a project?
You are able to clone dependencies on a project. Once they're set up, you would just go in and it's automatically going to clone those dependencies.
Perfect. Also, In the last example, when you built a project via closed won opportunity, do you need to close one that in mission control, or what happens if sales makes the opportunity closed won in the sales instance of Salesforce?
Sure. So that as long as that project has been set up there within mission control, then it'll automatically trigger within mission control. So you would just go through making sure that your project manager has uploaded that. And once that's closed won, it'll trigger off that project associated with the opportunity.
Perfect. And can projects created be synchronized to QuickBooks?
You would. There's going to be a little bit of work required involved in that. Essentially, what you would be doing is through an API integration with a third-party app. We recommend Breadwinner, and you're going to connect over QuickBooks through that API integration and Breadwinner into Salesforce, map the information back over into Mission Control, and then I'll be able to talk back and forth.
Perfect. And then another question is, are these features available now? I can't see how to set it up, how to set up the status reports.
Yes, absolutely. The features are available now. If you need additional help setting up that status report, just give us your information. We'd be glad to reach out and get you information on how to do that, as well as set up an in-person call and walk you through those steps. It will only take 3 to 5 minutes to do so.
Perfect. Is there a reason why I would only be seeing template projects in the Launchpad clone project feature?
Yeah, only those that have, where you have the checkbox of template are going to show through the main console in that clone feature.
Perfect. All right. I'll wait a couple. Oh, yeah, I was just saying I'll wait a couple more minutes to see if anyone has any additionals. So another one is if we enter timesheet in Bamboo HR, how can we synchronize time spent on projects in Mission Control?
Sure. So again, that's going to be approached in the same way that the question about QuickBooks. You would find a API integration third-party app that's going to integrate Bamboo into Salesforce, and then you would just map the information around there. You may be able to actually consolidate some of your software needs by taking a look at Mission Control, because we can certainly handle that timesheet information.
Great. All right. And we might be done with our questions. I want to give it a little bit more time just in case, but all right. So looks like we've covered all of our questions for today's webinar. I'd like to say thank you, everyone, once again. We definitely appreciate you joining and attending. We'll send out a follow-up email, and you're definitely welcome to schedule a requirements call, as well as install our 14-day free trial that'll provide you with valuable resources, including our Quick Start Guide, which is the easiest way to get started with Mission Control. Once again, thank you for joining us today. You have a great day.
Thanks, everyone. Take care.